Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about where marketing is going in 2017. So first and foremost, I think marketing, you're going to see a lot more video content. Video is something Neil and I have been talking about quite a bit. Neil's, putting more resources into video. I'm putting a lot more resources into video as well. I think video is really important. And, in conjunction with that, you have live streaming, right? YouTube just released the ability to live stream from your mobile device as of a couple of days ago. You do need to have about 10,000 followers to be able to do that. You can live stream there. Facebook's putting a lot more resources into that too. You can see the fact that if you're in San Francisco, the fact that they have ads on, billboard ads, they have ads on buses around going live on Facebook. It's a really important initiative. So I think video, first and foremost, you're going to see that increase, not just for this year, but in coming years.
Yeah, and another thing that we're seeing is, especially in 2017, and we started seeing this actually in 2016, companies aren't really hiring CMOs anymore. Sure, the old school Coca-Colas and stuff like that, they are. But the newer edge companies, especially some of these that have $1 billion+ valuations, they're hiring VP of growths, head of growth, whatever you want to end up calling it. And the reason they're doing this is marketing has a new mindset. Instead of just spending money on marketing channels to grow, marketing has now evolved into something in which you can leverage users, invite flows, you can leverage the product, you can leverage so many assets within a company from design, sales, engineering to grow your market, to grow your user base, to grow your revenue. That now marketing isn't just about buying ads everywhere, doing SEO or doing inbound marketing. It's changed a lot. A good example of this is Dropbox. They've been doing this for years, but one of the main avenues they've grown is invite more friends, get more space. Don't invite friends, pay for space. It's really that simple. And the reason I think that's important is because channels like Google pay-per-click, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, etc., they're becoming saturated very fast, if not already being saturated. The costs on these channels are continually rising because it's not like Google's getting 10x more traffic each and every single year, and Facebook's not growing as fast as it used to. For that reason, you have no choice but to use more creative tactics. And I think that's where growth hacking comes into play. You've been seeing it for years now, but it's starting to become mainstream, in which in 2017, companies are purely focusing on growth.
Neil brought up a really good point. There's only a finite number of users in the world, and costs are just going to get more and more expensive as you continue to more and more people come into the Facebook advertising or Google AdWords ecosystem. So one thing you could do to hedge against that is to build a community. You look at Neil's community, he's got a really strong following, and just because he spent 10 plus years doing this stuff and he's really consistent with it. Once you have a community, you have a moat, and it's very hard for someone to just come in and eat your lunch. It's something that's very defensible, and it takes time. So this podcast is a good example of building a community, or Neil's blog is a good example of building community. Video is another good example too. You look at Casey, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is it Neistat? Do you know his last name, Neil?
I don't, but I know who you're talking about. He's really popular. He got paid by someone, and then he used that money to just go all around the world. He's a great video editor and production person.
Yep. And then because he has such a strong community, CNN noticed him and paid him $25 million to buy one of his companies that really wasn't doing anything. They're utilizing his team, and they're trying to figure out creative ways to utilize it. But we'll see what happens with it. But that's a result of building a strong community. I think Pat Flynn's another good example of building a strong community around him. The other thing I would add is, marketing automation is becoming more prevalent too. It's nothing new, I would say, but the fact that it's starting to grow more shows that you have to be looking into creating a strong nurture sequence, whether it's using something like Infusionsoft or it's using something like Drip to talk to people and behaviorally message them based on the behaviors that they had on your site, such as pages they visited, how long they've been there, or you can't do how long they've been there, but pages they visited on the site. So Neil, what's next?
Yeah, the next thing is personal branding. And this is what's unique, because for me, I've built up a decent sized personal brand and it's been growing. But what I've learned over the years is it's easier and cheaper for me to acquire companies for my business through personal branding. And it's funny because I was at a group dinner the other day, and at this dinner, there was a lot of investors, entrepreneurs, and a lot of these people have done well. Like one of them invested in 250 companies, literally 250, and a lot of them are worth over $1 billion. So these people have done well. And, when these people are asking me what I do, they weren't sure anymore. And the reason being is they see my ads all over YouTube and Facebook of me just promoting a webinar, signing up, or going to neilpatel.com. But what very few people understand, and I don't really explain this much, I didn't even explain this at the dinner, is once people go to neilpatel.com, they sign up, they end up becoming a lead, then our sales team ends up pitching them on all our products and services for all our other businesses. And we found that using that channel, my personal brand, it's actually cheaper than if we sent the traffic directly to the businesses themselves and collected a lead from there. So the big push that we have on our end is take my personal brand in 2017 and 3x it, right? So we're measuring it through, let's say, Google Trends. And if we can 3x it on a consistent basis, because some months have crazy spikes, but on average, if it's up over 3x, we should see our businesses grow way faster and the cost to acquire new customers is much lower. The weird thing about this is you can't really sell a personal brand. I know some people say you can, but it's very rare. Companies are worth more. If you look at the Fortune 1000, it's companies. It's not people, right? A LeBron James, who's one of the most popular basketball players right now, isn't worth as much as Coca-Cola or Google. Michael Jordan, again, or Michael Schumacher, or Tom Brady. None of these sports figures, right, or Ronaldo, right, no matter who you say, none of these sports figures or individual brands, even celebrities like a Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or whoever it may be, none of them are worth as much as businesses. And it's harder to sell it. It's not like Tom Cruise can go and sell his name. He can go be in a movie and someone can pay him for that or pay him for a commercial, but he can't sell himself like you can sell Google, right? Or you can sell Apple and another company could buy them. Or right now, Yahoo's going through an acquisition and someone may end up buying Yahoo. The point I'm trying to get across is what I don't know is, although I can grow a company faster by first sending people to my personal brand and growing my personal brand, I don't know how that's going to impact the company in the long run, because although the company will make more money, it starts becoming reliant on my personal brand, which causes the company to be less desirable from an acquisition standpoint. Because who's going to acquire a company that's all tied to someone's personal brand unless the acquirer knows that they're going to get that personal brand for the long haul?
That's a really good point. And I think a counter example to that, or somebody that's actually gotten, they built up a strong personal brand and then they've kind of, offloaded it and put the company ahead. And I think who I'm talking about is, Ryan Deiss. You look at digital marketer. He used to be he still kind of is the forward-facing guy, but he's gotten other people to kind of step ahead, do the podcast, speak, at these events to be the kind of main people. That's worked out for him. Now digital marketer is the forward-facing brand, and they have all these other brands under the umbrella. Would you think that's a fair counterexample?
Yeah, but the problem with digital marketer is even though it's not just relying on Ryan's brand, he's still the main figure that everyone connects with digital marketer. So who would buy digital marketer if they don't get Ryan Deiss, right? And even if they get Ryan Deiss for 3 years, what happens to acquire once Ryan Deiss leaves? That's where it gets weird. And I don't know how companies are going to deal with that or look at it when they're trying to acquire businesses.
Yep, I think for us, we look at it as Ryan's the main figure. I think, I've been listening to a couple of their podcasts. They've been trying to move it off to focus more on digital marketer. So we'll see what happens with it. But, they do have that native commerce kind of umbrella. So, again, you guys can feel free to look into it, nativecommerce.com. Take a look at what they're doing. And then I think one of the other things where marketing is going in 2017, I think, honestly, we can go on forever, but, we only have a minute left. But looking at data science is a growing field. More and more people are looking at it because obviously there's a lot more data happening. We just talked about marketing automation. There's so much more content coming out. People are repurposing content, more video content too. So, I highly recommend looking into a school like datacamp.com if you're interested in looking at data science. But it's going to be more and more important for people that are actively looking at this data and coming up with insights on what to do. And it's a pretty lucrative field. So if you guys want to switch into data science, it's worth looking into. Neil, anything else to add? One more thing before we hop off?
No, that's it from my end.
All right, that's it for today's episode. Let us know what you think. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.